welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition, to another installment of hashtag Faith to Black. I am your host, Donnell Lamonte Morris, here with Anita Joke, aka Teach, even though she said that she may not be on the show, but guess what? She's here. And also here with Mr. O, and y'all already know about Beach Johnson. He is always fashionably late, and he's gonna be here soon. How's everybody doing?
Wonderful,
Fine.
wonderful.
We're all right.
It's good to see everybody.
Yeah, apologies, ladies and gentlemen. My computer is taking a big, huge dump on me for some reason. And speak of the devil, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, once this computer and all this stuff get through, ladies and gentlemen, Beast Johnson. If
Good evening.
his camera comes through, hopefully it comes
Good
through.
evening.
Oh, I can see y'all.
How you doing, Beast?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How we doing?
Once it's right now,
Feeling
ladies and
like
gentlemen, once
football
again,
right now.
technical difficulties. Oh, Beast Johnson, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, yes, yes. How we doing?
Well, Beast Johnson's gone again. All right,
No, I'm
so
here.
once he get his stuff situated, we're gonna go in here with y'all know it is the opening statements, and we got Mr. Jones up in the house, our proud sponsor uh, from Cheddar Boy Popcorn. But enough of my rambling. Let's get on to these
Hello,
opening
Mr.
statements, shall we?
Jones. Welcome.
So let's get on with the opening statements and teach you at the floor.
Nanga Death. Welcome again to another segment of Fade to Black. Originally, I wasn't supposed to be on the show tonight because I had other obligations, but as fate would turn, or destiny actually is a better term than fate, I am here. And I had thought about over the weekend, if I would come on today, what would I talk about? And the perfect day for the perfect situation is to be ready, in a state of readiness at all given times. Many times we miss opportunities because we are not prepared to go forward and vent or vest that opportunity. So I just want to suggest to you, whatever your desire is, be it education, be it self development, being a family person, or whatever have you have to put yourself in a state of readiness, readiness to go to the left or right, up or down, whatever the situation calls for, to be ready and to be able to embrace the opportunities that are presented before you. So, because my day turned upside down, I had the opportunity to be here, and I welcome being ready, um, and able to take advantage of this opportunity to come and speak to you all, to engage you, to enlighten you, and just overall build the person that you are. And when you're ready, you're able to propel yourself. You have confidence, and confidence speaks volumes. When you go into an unknown situation, people can pick up whether or not you have confidence of what you speak, or how you act, or the way you command yourself. So, in short, always be ready for any given thing at any given time, that you may properly take advantage of the opportunities that are presented to you.
Um, the current events that is happening all over the world, uh, it has also woken me up, and I see that we black people, we have problems all over the planet. All over the planet. In the Americas, in Europe, in Asia, and even in our own Africa. According to Shakespeare, the problem is not in our stars. The fault is in us ourselves. We have to look inward and see what kind of light we are emitting that make many reject us. Yesterday on Facebook, a student from my tribe, from a university in my tribe, got in touch with me. He was complaining about our leadership at home. So I told him to organize a group of students for me to mentor them. I told them not to immigrate. So I'm planning to make them study all the whole tribe, all the collection of problems and needs and what they want solved. Then I begin to guide them through lecture on how they can make bridges to connect villages, on how they can market their product in the market, how they can help the market woman, how can they use the modern technology to promote sales. We have to find out where the problem is, what problems we have. Then we look for solution. I think because I'm an engineer, and that is why in this very critical year, I want to tell our African American brothers or brethren over there that let us enumerate the problems our community have. Then let us begin to debate solution for it. Politicians will not solve it, just as I'm telling folks back home in Africa. We have to take up the challenge to produce a change in ourselves and uplift ourselves up. That is the only way we can get the respect of others. Law can ban racism, but law cannot stop it. We are the one that can stop it when we evaluate ourselves and elevate ourselves into a position of magnitude and magnanimity. And we can never be magnanimous if we play the victim. No, we must be the victors. That is my opening statement.
Okay. As you can see, I'm in a different surroundings. I'm over here at a undisclosed area. I want to add this video that a friend of mine wants to come up and play this. This goes along with Bichon's we talked about all last week, and I'm just gonna let the video play for itself.
Discomfort when we think about pedophiles. But just like pedophiles, we are not responsible for our feelings. We do not choose them, but we are responsible for our actions, and we must make a decision. It is in our responsibility to reflect and to overcome our negative feelings about pedophiles and to treat them with the same respect we treat other people with. We should accept that pedophiles are people who have not chosen their sexuality and who unlike most of us, will never be able to live it out freely if they want to lead an upright life. We should accept that pedophilia is a sexual preference.
Statistics indicate that there will be 1 or 2 of you who are struggling with some form of pedophilic interest. These people can't talk about their feelings because they know that they will be hated for it. I truly do believe that every person is longing for love at some point in their life. And what if this love that you really wish for will forever be impossible? That must be a really lonely situation to be in. Yes, from an emotional point of view, I can kind of understand that you would want to eliminate these people from society. However, it doesn't make sense. And that's because we're talking about biology. We're talking about a sexual orientation, something that we simply cannot change. And on top of that, every day, new people are born with the same difficulty. So it's not practical to eliminate these people from society. They haven't done anything wrong.
Y'all hear that? Did y'all heard that? I literally, many moons ago, had a bell buddy. I believe he was Nigerian as well, who was in the army. He was like, America's become the country where they're going to accept anything. It's not a bad thing. But when you open that door, when you open the floodgates, who's going to stop it? I'm paraphrasing what he said. And one thing just struck me, what he said, that this society has become so open that now 40-year-olds will start marrying 12-year-olds and people won't bat an eye. That would become normal. And seeing what's happening with this society today is, and seeing that, he was foreseeing the future. And me and him were both the same age. Seeing that make me sick to my stomach. Because I'm thinking about my future kids. Now, I'm gonna have to worry about that teacher that's teaching them their lessons. Now I'm gonna have to worry about that one officer that's probably helping go across the street or watching the neighborhood. When you hear stuff like that, you don't know who to trust now. You probably can't even trust your own kids to be with your own brother or your own sister. And now they're trying to normalize this. We are losing the sanctity of this nation, of this, not even just this country, but the whole world. But the issue is this: we're taking this cancer and we group it into something good that is positive, that's progressive for society's sake, and we inject it up into there, and now that's a bad thing too, because it's a catalyst, it's a parasite, a host. And now we can't do nothing about it. Now we got to deal with it. Either we deal with it or we just got to be like, well, it's part of culture. Why more of those people? We got to deal with this. We got to. Children are our future. And if we let this stand, kids will no longer be kids. They could be adults, young little adults that never experienced a childhood, because people, unfortunately, that are around my age and higher, ladies and gentlemen, this is the society that we live in today. And if you think this is wrong, it's time for you to step up. It's time for us to put a stop to this. This is why this show is important, because we will bring this right here to the forefront and tell you how wrong it is. And also, by the way, for all y'all conspiracy theorists, I know y'all looked at that caption. Y'all be like, oh my God, CNN reported on it and they didn't put on that. No, somebody cracked that. So before y'all jump on there and be like, jump on CNN, this was not a CNN clip. But other than that, it does not take away that this mess right here, it's real. And it's happening. Could be the person next door. Beach Johnson, take it away.
I had a point to make. If you notice the shakiness of my camera, it's because my knee is shaking, because after seeing that video, I'm only further fueled by rage over what I spoke of last week. But I'm gonna stick to my original point. And my original point is kill them with kindness. I want to use an example. When I was incarcerated, I befriended a white gentleman over card games. We socialized for a good couple of days, no problems. But I did notice how others would look at us, and it came to fruition that this individual was a former Klansman, as well as a former head of the Aryan Brotherhood in prison, and actually the instigator in a race riot at that said prison years prior. So after hearing this, I spoke to him about it and really broke it down to him, and we basically asked him, well, do you still have that passion like that? Like, do I have to worry? And he was like, I still have some of those views, but that energy and passion is long gone. I'm not that type of person that would. I might think it, but I'm not going to execute it. I said, I can respect that. As a man, I can respect that. I don't have to necessarily like you or respect you or deal with you. But if I'm forced to coexist in the same space of time, then it was understood and acknowledged that we can both be civil with each other as gentlemen, as men, as humans, not as a white man and a black man. We chose to kill each other with kindness, regardless of how we personally felt about each other. We reserved ourselves to be gentlemen during our time there. And that's what we have to do, especially after seeing some shit like that. We must kill them with kindness. Stand strong and fervent to your morals and your ethics and your beliefs. If some shit is wrong, shit is wrong. And just because the people over there are cool with it, don't mean they have to bring that bullshit around your way and around the way of those you are attached to. And if you make that plain, make that clear, and make that ambivalently, unequivocally known, that no matter what's going on, they have to respect the fact with a underlying hint of fear that whatever they're doing, they know you don't agree with it, and it's best to just respectfully move to the side. So to all you pedophiles out there, I refuse to call you pedosexuals. You are not age fluid. Age fluid, I do not agree with that in any way. This is my personal belief and my personal stance. Keep that bullshit away from me and my family and any child you see me within eye contact around. Assume I know them. Assume if I see you talking to them in that manner, I'm going to jump on your ass. And I will kill you with kindness. That's my opening statement.
All right. So before we jump into our main story, our host, he's gonna be jumping in soon. He gave me a call before the show. He's actually getting ready. And Beach Johnson, you're gonna be a lead on this story. Black media. For a man that's in music, who's also got a couple of YouTube series as well going on. So let's go ahead and jump into this exciting story because I know Chi, she's ready for this for media. I'm telling you, I cannot wait to produce your show, Cheese. I cannot wait. But let's let's go ahead and get into our main story. Right, y'all. So let me go ahead and get it started, and then I'm just going to hand the reins over to Beast Johnson. So black media has kind of been like, gossip, music, and more gossip. It's been a while since I actually, other than, like the Roland Martins and all of them, I have never actually seen like a news organization that's based primarily on us. I know I mentioned the Black, News Network channel, but barely anybody even know anything about it. So when I think about black media, the first thing that popped in my mind is BET. And you saw what happened to BET. So I'm gonna go ahead and give the reins to you, Beast Johnson, with a question. What happened to the black media in your view of, like, if I don't see nothing that look like me or even attract to me?
If I could paraphrase from what Mr. O was speaking about with James Brown and music, we can use that correlation and allegory. A lack of soul and a more emphasis on the bottom line. And the third point would be a complete embrace of all negativity in the gains of financial means. And what I mean that is, like you said, primarily black media is gossip of some level, of some varying degree. It's gossip. Or it's an embrace of negative stereotypes and connotations. You find that in comedy, you find it in music, you find it in media. The only place you rarely find it is in the arts by means of like Broadway. But you see a definite lack of black representation, but that is changing now. The point being, with black media overall, they see that the conscious thought is they see us in a negative light and they're making money off of it. And the only way we can really make money off of it is to paint ourselves in that light. So if we fully embrace it, then we can, in a sense, take control over it and own it. Kind of in the same sense of nigger. We took it from nigger to nigga and changed the whole dynamic of the word, and now made it something that doesn't even bat an eye and is deemed a term of endearment or a general reference. So that's what happened. Like I said, they said, fuck it, let's get this money by any means necessary.
Anybody else have anything to add?
I would just add a small portion in terms of a news outlet. There are several smaller shows that used to really deliver the news. If you remember Ed Gordon, he had a show that delivered the serious type news. But I think overall, one of many, because you can find little small news anchors here and there throughout the black media news. But overall, what I see is that they fail to be competitive, to put themselves on the market, and I think it lends itself to what Beast Johnson says, that they looked at the comedic aspect of Black life, the gossip portion of Black life, instead of taking the opportunity, like W.E.B. Du Bois said, is to paint that beautiful picture of Black life, to give us something to ascribe to. Also, one sitcom comes to mind, and this was Good Times. And that Good Times show, it had a good feel to it because it looked at the Black family and their struggle and how they had dreams of overcoming their obstacles. And towards the end of this series, they did. But one of the characters, Florida Evans, she had an issue with the writing of the script. And that script was that they wanted to write James the father out of the script to go along with the Monahan report that was produced in 1965, that says that the Black man is missing from the family. And if you look at the dates of when Good Times began to air, you look at the dates of the Monahan report, it's not even a decade apart. And it was Florida Evans, or Esther Rowe, that played the role of Florida Evans in Good Times. She fought and she took a stand. She said, I will not be portrayed as a single mother. I will have my husband and I will have my children. And we will show the Black family in all of its dynamics. And it's because of her stand that I think it wasn't until near the end of the show that they finally killed James off. But she took that stand and she had to fight against that level of racism to show a complete family. She understood why it was necessary to show the Black man in the home being the head of the home. And I just want to say that Monahan report was the most vicious report that was ever put out about the Black family and the Black man being missing. And because it was produced by the federal government, people just believe it. They don't take time to investigate. And it was like gospel. The Monahan report to the government is just like the Bible is to the church. They believe it. Oh, it's produced by the government. It has to be true. But then when you look at it collectively with that Monahan report, that was the first report done on the psychology and the sociology of African Americans on this soil. They didn't do any reports during slavery. They didn't do any during Reconstruction. They didn't do any after Reconstruction. That report came out 6 months after the Civil Rights Bill was produced. And then the 1964 Civil Rights Bill said that we, the government, would no longer practice discrimination. And so right after the Civil Rights Bill, and they claimed that we moved into a post-racial society, and then they said, but the reason why the Black man isn't excelling, I mean, we're no longer racist. We've moved out racism out of our government and public places. But now 6 months after the law went into effect, now they're saying that the reason why Blacks aren't advancing is because of single Black households, because there is no man in the household. It was strategically placed and people believe it. They utterly believe it.
How do you feel, Mr. O, from a global stance? and black media, do you feel like they fell off? And B, what do you feel their impact, if anything?
Black music today is a big disappointment.
I agree.
It is because of lack of knowledge of its history. During slavery, when whites left their church, they had the sound of black slave with Negro spirituals praising the Lord, having more happiness than the white slave master. And that is what provoked a spiritual liberation, that God lifted up people who stood up for slaves to be free. Later, we had the blues, then the jazz, and black soldiers that went to Europe introduced jazz, and the Germans copied it. That means for the first time, walls were broken, walls were torn down. White man playing black music until it got to the 60s. Soul music, very clean music, music without lamentation. You will be listening to Skeeter Davis, Connie Francis, all singing lamentation of melancholy of love, and soul music was clean. I was young when in the hostel we would look at ourselves and say, hey, hey, I feel all right. That was it. Clean music. I knew all JB songs off head in those days. I feel all right. I'm black and proud. We dance it. The whole of Africa, the whole Africa, were in unity, spiritual unity with black music from the US. The black music from US made us sing, made us dance until they bombed it. They bombarded it. Slowly through reggae music, all lamentation. And from there, black music did not make people. That means the Jamaicans introduced that, but the black American, African American of soul, of James Brown, of Otis Redding, of Al Green, they silenced them. And
so
then
I'm
there's need for a renaissance of black music based on soul music. Soul, clean music, no lamentation, but life.
Okay. Well, I'll pose this question to you, Teach, because this is going to be my next question while we wait for Donnell to help with the guest and his technical issues. Because Mr. O pretty much answered his portion. Moving forward, what avenues and facets of black media do we need to focus on restructuring to ensure that the stigmas we're going through now don't happen for the next generation moving forward?
Well, I think moving forward, we're seeing what we need to do. 2 years ago, we had the Black Panther. Black Panther had the city of Wakanda. It made everybody dream. It made everybody come alive. Actually, myself, I've seen it 4 times. Twice with my students, 1 time with my family. Oh, I've seen it 5 times. And then in 2018, I was in Ghana and had an opportunity to go to a Ghana theater and watch Black Panther with fellow Ghanaians. And it was an awesome experience. It was a different experience, actually, as to the way they responded to the movie and the way we responded to it. but nevertheless, it was an experience. I believe Black Panther was in a line with Marcus Garvey in setting a vision of who we can be. And right now, I believe the other day, Beyonce has come out with a film called Black is King. And I have not seen it. And I believe I'm going to get a description. I mean, get a prescription so I can see it, because what they're talking about in her film, she is illuminating African culture, going back to the old time ways. And you know, I always talk about our ancestors are calling us to stand up and recognize and pick up the gems of the past, which is called a Sankofa. And I believe through this film, that's exactly what Beyonce is doing at her level, in her power. She's putting Black culture and spiritual worship on a positive scale, on a positive level. Now, if you look at any of the comments, the people that are deeply, deeply religious, they say, oh, there's witchcraft, that's black magic, that's this, that's that. But those that are conscious and awake, they say, no, it's not witchcraft. It is the way of our ancestors. It's the spirituality that we were created with. So she's given a positive, she's utilizing her celebrity and her creative license to tackle a very sensitive subject in the Black community. We've been taught, and I want you to think about this, of all the religions and the spiritual practices in the world, there's only one that's relegated or downgraded to something less than, something that's not desirable. And we have to think, why is it of all, and I mean go from continent to continent, from ocean to ocean, from sea to sea, and uncover the religions and spiritual practices of the world, only that which pertains to the African is looked down upon. And I have to think God is wise. Whoever you may think God is or is not, I have to think God is wise. And whatever God gave you as your spiritual connection to him, it can't be wrong. And that is what Beyonce is doing. So I think when individuals like Jordan Peele, he put out Get Out, and he put out the movie Us. And if you look at Us talks about that body double. And it has a lot of symbology in it. They're waking us up. If you listen, people are already in position giving us the message. Our thing is, will we hear us? Will we hear us? Will we understand us? Will we agree with us? Will we shake off the shackles of lies, being bamboozled? Will we shake all these things and return to our ancestors and receive our power? When we are disconnected from our ancestors, we are disconnected life source and our power. And that is the single reason why any and everything pertaining to Black spirituality and culture and tradition is demonized. It is to psychologically separate you from your power. And people like Beyonce, Jordan Peele, they're reconnecting us if you would allow that reconnection.
All right.
Well, I pose the question. I'll pose the question to you. I asked the question while you was gone, and to the I guess as well. The question was, moving forward with media, what are some facets we need to concentrate and focus on and restructuring to move forward? Teach was speaking on the arts and the media. Mr. O was speaking on music. My response was going to be an embrace of the subgenres. and like she already spoke on Jordan Peele, he has really embraced and shown us that Black people like horror movies, and we are more than capable of directing one from our perspective, and it's just as thrilling and intense and psychological. So I would say, embracing those subgenres, the animes and science fictions, and the things that are typically considered non-Black, because you have a lot of Black people who are involved in those type of genres already, and you have a lot of Black people who embrace those type of subgenres. I read somebody before the picture of me of African Gothic lifestyle. What we see is like Victorian style Gothic, but it had a steampunk African tribal aesthetic too. But it was considered, it was Gothic. I never would have thought about putting shit like that together. But to see that and see that from a Black perspective inspired me. So moving forward, subgenre. Well, you were about to say, Donnell?
I was going to I'm gonna go get my tape, but first I want to introduce my guest. Well, technically, B. Johnson, your guest. This is Iron Mike. So just to make it real quick, me and him we met each other in the airport. I got his credentials. I switched off my credentials to him. We stayed in contact, and I'm happy that he is on the show. Iron Mike, ladies and gentlemen, Iron Mike, welcome to the show. Hopefully we can hear you. Oh, we can't hear. Hey, Iron Mike, we can't hear you.
I need some earbuds.
You're gonna need some headphones. All right. So once he get his headphones on, okay. All right. And okay, so let me go ahead and all right. So let me go ahead and give you my take real quick once Iron Mike get his stuff situated. So here's the thing with me. What Mr. O said, what Teach said, what you said is correct. I mean, it's the truth. I mean, let's be for real. We cannot put ourselves in this one box. We can't sit there and say only thing we do is hood movies, as they will call it, or those cult classics, or those, let me see, like I said, hood movies and comedies. It's great to watch a good comedy. Like who will say no to watching Friday? Who will say no? Who's gonna say no watching Boys in the Hood? Nobody's not gonna say no. But we need something to expand. I go back to the Black exploitation movies. Mr. O probably know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the movies of Superfly. Yo, there you go. I'm talking about like Superfly. I'm talking about
Rudy Ray Moore.
Dolomite. I mean, I'm going back to old school, even Blackula. Blackula. I'm telling you, just talking about that just give me goosebumps. I'm talking about movies. See, back in the day, it was action. You even had freaking back in the day, you had football stars up in those movies. Yes, was it? Did it have this?
Mm-hmm. Side note, shouts out to George A. Romero and all his fans. The first movie he ever did, the first zombie movie, the hero and the last person to survive, Black man.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to put. Can you hear us, brother?
Hey, that's why I love. But the thing is, we can't hear you. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. Let me see. We're not able to hear. Let me see. Let's see. I can't do nothing on my end.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay.
All right. So good. All right, Mike, he's in. Let me see if I get teaching. I don't know if she's still handling a couple things, but going back to what I was saying, and then going back to that movie, I'm happy you brought up that point about that movie. Is that he was the G in the movie? He kept. I'm telling you,
He kept everybody
I won't
safe.
say he. I won't say he kept.
No. Let's keep it real. Anybody that watches that movie, any white person that watched that movie will say that black man kept everybody alive. He was the most sensible and logical person out the whole bunch.
Yep.
All them white folk died because they was being silly white folk. They was being the prototype that we know as silly white folk in a horror movie.
But then also the biggest point in that movie is he didn't have to be something else. He was him the whole entire time. Yes, I'm a police officer. I came from I know how it is. And he kept that persona. He kept it cool, calm, and mannered. And that was the best part about that movie, because he could have been anything else. He could have been that one brother that said, man, we got to get out of here. He was like, look here. We're in this situation. Let's deal with it. Let's go. Like when that one police officer was sitting there and saying all the freaking slurs up in there. And that one white dude who was, I think he was the captain, he was just sitting there looking at him saying all these things, knowing that it's wrong, didn't say a thing. But dude was like, hey, that shit. Don't say nothing. And guess what happened to him? Just fired on him. And you saw everybody else just win the line. But we need more movies like that where we are in all genres. Like Hamilton. Me and my girlfriend, she watched the play, and I just caught like halfway into the press. Like Hamilton. Who saw all those different, and it's definitely mainly black people, that was playing white people?
That guy,
was
brother,
crazy.
was George Washington, and he played the shit out of it.
Right. And so we can do all these things, like with music. We just can't limit ourselves. Like, I feel funk music is dying. We're not just hip hop, ladies and gentlemen. We're just not about rap, ladies and gentlemen. We're not just about R&B. We're all about funk. We don't hear anything about like George Clinton, the Funkadelics, James Brown. And even with R&B, we don't hear the Luther Vandross no more. We don't hear the Anita Bakers no more. We don't hear the substance. I'm sorry. I'm all about foreplay. I want to.
I would like to.
I got to take a step forward. We talking about soul. They don't know nothing about Living Color. They don't know nothing about Jimi Hendrix. They don't know nothing about the Chuck Berrys. They don't know nothing about the Thin Lizzy. The lead singer of Thin Lizzy. I can't think his name off the top of my head right now. They don't know about our influence in the non-black genres like rock music.
Right.
I know plenty brothers that get on the guitar and can not funk out, not soul out. They can shred like a long-haired white boy out the 80s.
Yeah.
You see, if you allow me to elaborate a bit, I'm not of the opinion of a musical apartheid that is completely Afrocentric. Not. I will prefer that black radio station begin to boom that soul music of yesterday for the children of today to recreate it and reproduce a clean music that will tear down all the walls of apartheid throughout the world. When I arrived in Argentina, a very white country, the musicians that played jazz, Negro spiritual, were the first to give me a hug to integrate me. That is how those kind of music tear the walls down. As regards video, after that, I filmed. Look, let us look for the black history, heroes in history, and make a film about them. Look, that will make us know that our community built America. I give you one example. There was a black man, I told you before, a slave. During the war for independence, he arranged with American troops that he be allowed to be captured by the British troops. and the British captured him. They made him to serve them. He told them, you know, those Americans enslaved me. I'm against them. But while serving the British officers, he listened to all their military plan. And in a counter-attack, he got recaptured by the American troops and revealed all the secrets. This is what led to the American victory over the British Imperial Army. This is the guy you should go and pick out in history and make a film of him for Americans to know that America
I never knew that.
That is what
Tell
we
you.
should produce.
Okay.
See, that's
Man,
the soul
I'm with
preaching.
that. I'm with that. I would like to play the role, the main role.
Forget it. That
I
is it.
jump in.
There are more like that. Look for them. Look for those black heroes that died for America in independence. Those
That's
are
just
the
like-
ones you bring them to the screen and you will shake America.
And that's just like the
You gain
black
your
man.
in America.
Right.
Go ahead.
And what you saying that just like, do y'all know the black man that invented ice cream, to make ice cream, vanilla, and all that stuff? You know how many foods have vanilla in it? Pound cakes, all that. And just like what he was just saying, you know, we can make movies about these type of people. You know what I'm saying? That can really, you know, reveal our history. Yeah, I'm with that.
You see, there's the contribution of blacks to mathematics, to science, you know, to engineering. The black man that made, you know, the first rail transport before. There are black people that I have the list, black inventors. Make films on them. Don't let Hollywood do it. Let us do it from our own perspective as a pride. As a pride. There are black investors. There are many. The traffic lights, which called semaphore, was made up. Let us look at their history. And then we make films of black contribution to science and technology and engineering. That is the frame we should be in. It will be seen all over the world, and black man will gain respect. All those who say the blacks did nothing for science and technology, they are lying. Black mathematicians in the US, we know it. In NASA, we have to go and look for those books and make films for them.
So what I'm hearing from you, Mr. O, as well as I'm Mike, is we need to, in a sense, create a black propaganda. As we say, could we control the narrative? But in order to truly control the narrative, we must
not Hollywood.
A propaganda set upon not just revisiting our history, not just showing our impact, but we must show our true impact. Like I'm the type of person, I look at from both ends of the spectrum. So what you're saying is on the left end, for example. On the left end, we need to reintegrate ourselves with our history. We need to show the lesser known heroes that truly made the world and make America function to this day. We need to talk about those people. But on the opposite end, we also need to show the true impact of black genius and what happens when that black genius is no longer of benefit to others. I'll say, for example,
that is it.
You know, like for example, let's make a movie where one day there are no black people. Just black people just amazing. Just one day pulled the Left Behind. We just disappeared. Every person that's over 30% black just disappeared. And the black genius no longer existed. And the movie could take place 10, 15, 20 years after the fact that the world no longer has black people to help it run. What would be the
That's
impact?
interesting.
What would be how would that shit go down? Like all you white people say y'all the master
Yeah.
race. Well, if we disappear, how would that shit really go? You know, to use Hamilton for example, the King's Speech. He said, "What comes next? You've been free. Do you know how hard it is to leave? You're on your own. Awesome. Wow. Do you have a clue what happens now?" That's a movie we need to do.
Right. And going back to that, I remember that one post that you put up, Beast, a while back. It was called Cracker, where slavery was in reverse.
I'm not sure if it's a movie or a show, but the general concept is it's a reverse of Jordan Peele's Antebellum, where a black woman wakes up in slavery times. This is a white man waking up in an alternate world where not only has he traveled back in time to colonial slavery, but this is an alternate colonial slavery where we run the shit now. And we're doing everything that historically we've seen done to us in movies. We're doing the exact same thing and playing it out the same way.
I have one jackpot. I have one jackpot.
What's
Who
up?
was California?
Said who was California?
It was California.
That's an interesting question.
Prepare to make a film. Prepare to make a film. And I will tell you who California was.
I know
A group of Mexicans. A group of Mexican blacks and Indians were the one that founded California. And their leader was a black woman whose name was California.
Yeah, I like that.
You're right.
I like that. I want to. Hey, Mike. Hey, we need to link up, man. We can start the writing on that.
Yeah, we definitely need to do that, bro. No,
and put that on the
website. We're gonna get Mr. O to be the historical consultant. That's gonna be your title on the movie,
right? Yeah, of course. Mr. O gonna be very important to the movie. He's gonna be very important to the movie.
Oh, we're gonna give you that good back end title. You're gonna get that good back end title. We're gonna make sure you get right on it.
One thing I need to do is put it on the Wet Network and spread it out there, and then go off like wildfire.
Of course, you're the producer.
And then, and then also we gotta have Teach. She gotta be a narrator. Period. Teach gotta be a narrator.
Oh, perfect. There you go. Movie right there. See how? See people. See all you people out there that say black folk can't come together. You see how easy that was?
You know what's so funny that you just said that black people can't come together? I was just having a conversation last night. Me and you, me and the brother was talking, and he would mention that, these brothers doing this and doing that. I was like, brother, I know some brothers right now that are coming together and making things happen. And that's our fault that we let that stigmatism ride us to the ground about black people can't work together. That's just something they put out there and somebody carried it around the world. But that's a lie.
I say that about all races, to be honest with you. Like, I have a mentality similar to Mr. O when it comes to races. Everybody's the same to me. I joke with my coworkers and say I'm an equal opportunity racist. I find just as much love and hate for my people as I would anybody else. Meaning, I call a white person a cracker, in the same breath call a nigga a coon, and in the same breath before I'm finished, call a wetback, a spick, and a Pollock, and show love to each and every last one of them. And they know I love each and every last one of them.
And to give Mr. O even a lot more credit, that's one thing when we talk about, races actually coming together and understand, like, oh shit, we shouldn't let this separate us. Let's go ahead and come in the middle. Let's talk about it. We having the same issues on our side too. Just because you don't hear it or see it does not mean that's not happening. It goes back to that old saying, well, if a tree falls in the middle of the forest and you're not there to see it, does it count that does the tree make a noise or something like that? And I'm like, that don't make no lick of sense. Just because we're not seeing it does not mean that it's not happening. So going on what Mr. O was saying, here as Black people, yes, we go through it like harsh. I mean, people turn a blind eye when we bring up our issues. But then when we have another, and just let me use Mexicans as an example, they're saying we deal with it too. And then we're like, well, nobody paying no attention to what we got going over here. And they like saying, well, the same thing's happening on our end too. Nobody's not paying no attention to it either too. And that's when the coalition come together like, okay, cool, we going through it. We can work together so our voices and everything can be heard on our end. So I do, Mr. O, once again, if hope was a person, I'm gonna tell you this, Iron Mike, if hope was a person,
throw your ring up. Throw your ring up.
So
I'm gonna find him a ring. I'm gonna find him that Blue Lantern ring. I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna get it to you. And I want you to wear it on the show.
So I'm gonna ask you this. Yeah. So I'm gonna ask you this question, Iron Mike. What got you into movies? What was it? What we are talking about, where you don't see too many of us doing other type of genre of movies, or you just decide to be like, you know what? I just want to make my own.
No, I started out with the music. You know, I was signed to a record company that decided to start shooting movies. So when they did that, I was actually in prison when they shot their first movie. But I signed to them before I got locked up. So when I came home, hey, I'm trying to rush back into the music. But the director was, hey man, we got these artists that we already rocking with right now, but we still rocking. We gonna get back to it, but we getting ready to shoot a movie, and I'm gonna give you a role, and it's gonna be up to you to take hold of that role and do something with it. So he gave me the role, and here I am, several years later, you know, still doing what I jumped out doing at that time, but. Writing the movies is different. Writing, you got a freedom with writing. You know what I'm saying? You got a freedom. That pen or whatever it is you write with a pencil. Some people write with a pencil. Strange as you think, but some people still write with pencils. Like
I'm one of them.
Right. So, man, hey man, it's really a beautiful thing because I got a chance to see the best of both worlds. You know, so man, I believe we all can come together and make some great stuff too, because our mindsets is already there. We got the knowledge down here with Mr. O. Mr. O gonna drop the knowledge on us. We got, you know, Donnell, you pretty much, like you say, get the producer side down. You know what I'm saying? Beast, man, you come with that funk. You know what I'm talking about? So shit.
Hey, I'm here. Hey, like a good bass line, I'm just here to fit in, baby. Just how you need me to roll.
So man, I believe we can take some of our mindsets that we were actually on and do something with that. Don't let that be just a vocal point of our conversation. Let's let it be a drawing point to what we need to do on that.
Right. So
we
what?
the Asian American, the Latino American, that before you came, we built this country, and that is what we should show in the films.
Mm-hmm. So here's my other question to you, Iron Mike, too. So even with that, now when you first started out, obviously you probably didn't have that much of a following. So I hate to take you back to that dark time. So this is
you got to go back. You got to go back to get to the good part. You got to go back.
That is true. So I'm talking of somebody who's starting out, who think that once they put the movie out, they're gonna get viral because this is the type of society we live in today now. So, what advice do you got to say to people that's starting out and thinking that they just going to be an overnight sensation?
Well, I can tell them that it ain't gonna fall out of the sky and land in your lap. It's something that you got to be persistent. It's all about persistency, because you can be persistent April, then when May come around, you're not doing nothing. So that take the work that you did in April down to nothing again, because you didn't do nothing in May. You skipped. You got to keep rocking. You got to not go out there with that. You got to have an attitude that, hey, look, I'm gonna give it my all, and if I slip and fall, I'm gonna dust myself off, and I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna try it again. You got to have that kind of attitude, because some people try it, but fall and skin up their elbow and take off and run. They'll never come back.
I agree.
Yeah. Because the reason I asked that question, because there's a lot of us, even with TikTok and Instagram and Facebook. Everybody remember MySpace? I know everybody had MySpace. I guarantee you still have MySpace somewhere. But
I had a MySpace.
you remember? You remember where everybody?
Still work.
I have not went on mine for years, but
I was trying to find my old code to get on there, man.
Well, they here's what happened. After they redid it, I had to go. They made it just for music. I went out there. I was like, let me see what it's looking like. Okay, that's what Justin Timberlake bought. I'm like, all right, I like where it's set up. Got back on there. That's about the last time I did it. It was like, okay, so no shouts out to TNT on that endeavor and redoing that.
Maybe I can do me a whole new page.
Oh yeah.
But my issue is we live in a generation where people just want to get that one viral video. And I understand you had people like Justin Bieber. He was discovered on YouTube. Well, a lot of stars got discovered on YouTube. But the thing is, how you gonna keep that longevity up? Because lots of people don't want to be known for that one viral video. So, what advice can you give to somebody? Because go ahead.
I was gonna say like even then, like people ask the question too. People need to understand. Yeah, it might have been a small moment, but how long were they doing it prior to that?
Right.
It's not like Justin Bieber just up and decided Monday morning, Mama, I'm gonna go do a video. Did it Monday, cleaned it up, dropped it Tuesday. The world saw it Wednesday, and he was signed by Friday. Nah, he dropped a couple videos. No, it took folk a while to see what he.
Where your charge at, babe?
So I always tell folk, trust in the long game.
Right.
If you really want that type of success, I would say, look at all the greats, all the people that you grew up wanting to be like. None of them got it overnight. None of them got it in the first year or two. That longevity, that iconic nature and status that you're attaining to be, it took a long, arduous, sometimes tempestuous, and hard-ass journey. But it was a long journey. It wasn't nothing done in 6 months to a year.
Right.
It took a couple years, took a decade or so to really get there. Just because they was 23 when they got it, they might have been doing it since they was 12.
Oh, that's where the earphones go in.
You feel me?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, because I can speak from experience too, because with the Alamonte show. Yes, I'm Mike.
Hey, look, on that, and what you were saying is like, just like with me, man, I started back in 2002 with the movies, my first movie. And my first movie, that was Lion Gates. And I'm pretty sure everybody know who Lion Gates is. And so after I did that movie, I just kept going. Like within the next 6 months of us releasing, not even 6 months, probably 3 months of us releasing that movie, Mike Jones, which was a platinum selling artist at the time, and who was signed to Universal. All right, he was shooting a movie. Do y'all remember the Mike Jones, Jones, The American Dream, the movie? Okay, If you look at that movie, I'm the bad guy. I'm the one sitting at the bar giving instructions on who my goons need to get. And then we outside too in the car, and I send one of my goons outside the car to attack the dude, and he ended up getting beat up. So and that was Warner Brothers. So my first two movies was Lion Gates and Warner Brothers. And then the third movie was Walmart Industries. And you know, actually they put those movies in every Walmart all over the world. And so all three of my first movies was around the world, went all the way around the world, all three of them. So that told me right there that God had something for me. That God had something for me, and I have to keep working. That it was going to be a long and hard road. And some people think it's easy. There's nothing easy in success. Success comes with hard work.
Success comes with failure.
Yeah.
Yes, you have to fail to get to that next level. I failed so many times. Like I say, listen, I've been to federal prison and I've been to state prison. So I went twice. So 2 times I messed up and I had to go sit down for a minute. But let me tell you, that did not stop my mindset and my progress. See, I got a story like when we actually working on the treatments for my movie. I wrote a movie already by myself, but unfortunately, those movies got lost. 3 of them I had wrote ready to go about 8 years ago. But that's okay. I wrote the movies and I know what's in them and I can rewrite them. And they're going to be better when I rewrite them.
Exactly.
But so that's part of my failure right there, because that knocked me down for a minute. I was like really depressed about that. I was really depressed because I put in good work in the movies, and they were $1 million movies. I could have sold them and got rich off all of them. But I didn't get to do that, and it's okay because that's God. Y'all understand that we have a certain time for our blessings to appear when we're doing stuff. See,
exactly.
we all got blessings coming, but we may not all get them at the same time. But I will say this, that if we're a team, if I get blessed, then all y'all got blessed.
There you go.
So I'm saying,
I was actually yeah.
That's how
Yeah,
we
go
need to
ahead.
start thinking. But that's how we need to. That's the mindsets we need to put in our young brothers, the younger brothers that are looking up to us, doing what we doing out here, outreaching the world, trying to, learn what it is to be better and make things greater. So we got a platform like you guys right now. I don't know how many people watching us or whatnot, but after this show, somebody's gonna be touched in a way to do something that they've been wanting to do, that it's been held back for them to do.
All it takes
You know
is
what I'm
one.
saying? You know, that's it. That's all it takes, Beast. It's just one. And my thing is, bro, man, I'm telling you, man, I tell people, man, I did not have it easy. The road that I'm on now came with a price. It came with a price. But I endured it, and I'm here. I'm ready to, get a world my story. You know what I'm saying? I done seen people lose their life right next to me, where when they was getting stabbed, their blood jumped on me. Stuff like that, bro. That will traumatize a person for life, or either push him on to successful greatness all through the above. You understand what I'm saying?
All the ladder.
Yeah, that's it. So, I mean, and so it was a blessing, and it was meant for all of us to meet. Got Mr. O on here. I'm glad that I can be in the midst of some like-minded brothers. You know what I'm saying? That's willing to take something from nothing, because right now it's nothing. Because it's nothing, because after we develop what we're doing, it's gonna blow up to be bigger than the moon. You know what I'm saying? But we got to start from somewhere. So we telling the people, that's what we telling them now. Don't think that it's gonna happen overnight, that it's gonna fall out the sky and land in your lap, or you're gonna trip over a pot of gold and a little leprechaun gonna be standing there asking you how much you need.
But think about what you're saying as well. It's nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing for us to get together and speak positivity to each other. It's nothing for us to just come through and shoot the shit on ideas that we've been thinking about. It's
That's it.
nothing for us to say, I want to be better, and I'll link up with the people that have the same mindset. It's nothing to make the change necessary to facilitate that positivity in your life. So when you
That's
say
it.
it's nothing, yeah, you got to think about, yeah, it really is nothing. Everything started from nothing.
That's it.
From that
That's it.
nothingness, a spark came.
That's it. That's it.
So,
That's it, bro.
so what is the biggest issue? Because I see Iron Mike, because we actually talked about when you called me up last week. When you decide to start your own media business, what
Right.
made you put your foot down and be like, it's great that I'm doing all this, but I want to make it legit that when anything I do is mine.
Well, at that point, man, it's all about incorporating yourself. You know what I'm saying? And if you have an incorporative mind, then that's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be trying to find other ways to be great, to help people. Because at the same time, I can be great and help people at the same time, because, this the life we living in. And we got to learn that, hey, man, you can't do everything by yourself. Like my PR, she got on my butt. This phone look like it needs some juice, but I'm gonna finish what I'm saying, then I'm gonna plug it up. I can still listen to y'all. Y'all just won't be able to hear me right for a little bit till it charge up a little bit. But what I'm saying is that, man, this is the time for us to put our innovations in order. You know what I'm saying? And go ahead and make it happen. I believe we can do it. So whatever you brothers want me to join in y'all and do, man, I'm letting y'all know right now. I'm down to do whatever y'all want to do. I believe there's gonna be some positivity and
He's having this little technical. Oh, good.
Yeah. There you go. He's back.
yeah.
Go ahead, Fitz.
So
Mike.
yeah, the phone was ringing. I had to turn it off. But yeah, man, I believe we can really make things happen. So this I was just looked at the time and seen what time it's finna get ready to be 9 o'clock here. And I supposed to have a Zoom meeting with some of my people that's doing my show in Texas when I get down there. I'm leaving Saturday, and I'm gonna be in Texas from the 8th to the 15th, and we're gonna be shooting a series that I wrote. We're gonna be trying to get at least 6 or 7 good scenes of that shot, and I'll be shooting several videos because I got several artists down there, plus my son, that we got to shoot videos to, because we got some hits right now, but we can't fully release them until we get the videos done.
So, Iron Mike,
I'm a
so
visual.
real quick, could you go ahead and tell everybody your YouTube channel?
Okay, so I think I still have a YouTube channel because I had put a song up on YouTube, and you can type my name up in the name of the song. So is that a YouTube channel when you got something like that?
Yeah, if
It
you
will set you up a playlist. When you dropping music on there, it will set you up an automatic playlist page.
Okay. So I guess you can actually. What you saying, Beast?
I'll say as far like YouTube goes, like you can have a active page as a channel, so to speak. As far as artists, when we put our music up there, it'll set up a music page for you.
Oh,
so like
okay.
when you go in there under there, it'll pull up everything, all your videos, access to all your videos and songs that you have uploaded to that point. So yeah, you do have a page on there, and like just type in your name, they'll find it.
Okay, that's cool.
If
so it's
you have a Gmail, you can easily have a YouTube channel. Yeah, I have channel in YouTube.
Okay.
And it's free of charge.
Mr. Joe, you telling us this? I could have been advertising your show the longest. Oh my gosh.
Hey,
That's a
well,
heart rate there.
Yeah, I have I
so
have
that
Daniel
it
on
is.
Hold on,
YouTube.
Mr. Hold on, Mr. What you saying, Mike?
It would be Iron Mike then is my YouTube channel.
All right.
You just have to type in
Yeah.
my name, and whatever song you're looking for, you would probably have to put that behind my name, and it'll pull that song up.
Let me ask you a question, Mike. Do you have your own production company, or are you still working with the
You know,
label?
I'm well. Let me tell you just what I got going on right now to enhance that situation. I'm finna get my LLC, so I can go ahead and get my domain with my go ahead and get all the way in. Then, but I do. My son have a label, Over Smoke ENT. My son have a label, Over Smoke ENT.
OVER SMOKE.
No. OVA.
Okay, over.
Yeah, over and Smoke ENT.
All right. Well, shouts out to
I
the
gotta
young
write that
man
down.
And so,
entrepreneurship right there.
huh?
Shouts out to your son on the entrepreneurship on there, taking that step to like you say, ensure he get all his money.
That's it. And so that's what. See, let me spill the beans a little bit on this. Y'all know Ice Cube, Too Short, E40, and I think Snoop got something to do with it too. But they got a record company called OG Records. If y'all never heard of it, I want y'all to pull it up.
Check that out.
OG Records, and they're only signing OG artists. They're not signing little young cats and none of that. They just want all OG artists who have the potential to sell records.
And they're looking for that OG mentality. They want brothers out there that can speak from that young man's perspective,
right?
But with that age and wisdom,
right.
Like, yeah, I was out there selling that dope. Yeah, I know what it's like to throw that, mix that quinine with that baking soda. Sometimes you gotta use just baking soda. Sometimes you gotta mix both of them.
That's it. And you know, so one of my partners is the manager for the Coalition DJs out here in Atlanta, and so him and his best friend is Puff Daddy and Too Short manager. So he trying to give me a deal. He trying to give me a deal with OG Records. But I told him I'm gonna get my own company established before I do that. So if they really want me bad enough, they'll merge with me.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be partners.
And for those people that don't understand what the true depths of this conversation that we're having, we're showcasing what we really need to do when we step forth in these industries. We must not just assimilate, but we must articulate ourselves. We must allocate ourselves. We must educate ourselves on all the facets of it, so that when we go forth, we can take as much, if not all, the money that is in front of us.
Right. Hey, look,
like
I'm gonna plug. Excuse me, Beast. I'm gonna plug this. I'm gonna plug the charger up. I'm gonna still listen to y'all talk, but I'm gonna let this phone get a little juice. And while y'all keep rocking.
Go ahead.
But I'm here though.
Gotcha.
Like I said, what Mike is saying, you gotta.
If I might have a chance to chime in.
Oh yes, please, Teach. Go ahead.
I want to say, Iron Mike, I've heard so much about you. I'm proud of you. I'm glad I had the opportunity to meet you. And everything that you all just said lends into my opening statement of being ready to seize the opportunity at all given time. And so I'm proud of the things that you do. And actually, you and Beast Johnson, I want to tie you into an organization that I helped found. I'm one of the elders on the board. That's called Teaching Artists Institute. And we have gone into several different countries, gathering the artists, performing shows, and doing concerts, utilizing arts for social transformation. And the key, yes, the key, Kim Poole, she's the founder of it. And like I said, I inspired her to go ahead and do it because the reason why I felt it was important because she came to me with her proposal, and I said, "This is what the African Union has desired, and this is what we talked about in the third Pan African Cultural Congress as culture being the fourth pillar of development." And so she set about to go to several different countries. And last year, I was supposed to go to Uganda for the fourth artisan conference, but that's when I got sick with pneumonia, so I wasn't able to go. But anyway, we go to Nigeria, Ghana, Africa. Where else did she go? Namibia. She went to Cuba. So the group has been going, and everywhere we go, we pick up new artists. Actually, yesterday we just picked up a new artist from the Dominican Republic, and the idea is to promote the artists and give them business skills during the conference setting, learning how to manage your money, learning how to manage your brand as an artist. So, and so this is another reason why I say that I want to do a cultural segment and bring on the artists, because we have at our fingertips, just one click away, artists from just about every African country that there is. And also I have ties to the All African Music Awards that was hosted in Nigeria last year and also supposed to be this year. I don't know if they're going to still do it for 2020 again. So anyway, we can connect all of these people and the dots. And another thing that I want to address is I have a handful of film producers that are struggling to put their films in the public. And this is one item that we need to really strengthen with the other African countries as well as the African Americans. Um, I had the opportunity in 2014 to meet Kano Okano and Sam Dede of Nigeria. And they talked about the history of Nollywood. And Kano Okano talked about how when he did his first film, he made as much as $5. And what motivated them to really do the Nigerian film industry was that they were being flooded and bombarded by Asian films. And they said, well, hey, we're looking at Asian people every day and their problems, their situations, their life and livelihood. Why can't we see ourselves? So he set out with nothing and they created Nollywood. And Nollywood today is the third largest film industry in the world. So this is what I try to stress to the artists, because I get a lot of artists, oh, you're an American, just give me money and I can make it big. No, you have to make it big with what you have. You have to, in this vein, I'm like Booker T. Washington, put your buckets down where you stand and do your art. Emulate Nollywood, learn from Nollywood. I actually just got my mother hooked on these Nollywood movies, and at first she didn't like them, and but now she's hooked, and she's watched so many, she can see the growth in the film. Because as Americans, we tend to have a very critical eye. Oh, that's not up to Hollywood standard. One, it does not have to be, because this is a new industry. In comparison to Hollywood, they're going to make mistakes. And the thing is that they make it. And that's what I celebrate, the power to go from a vision or imagination into a finished product of reality. And that's what we have to do, whether we are musicians, whether we are songstress, still arts, moving arts. We have to push our art and make it be what it will be. And that will be our power, reconnecting to ourselves. And when we reconnect to ourselves, there's always going to be the world to appreciate ourselves for who and what we are and what we bring in terms of arts and culture.
I agree. To add on to what she's saying about Nollywood, and just the whole point of to add to what Iron Mike was saying, you gotta understand you're gonna fall, you're gonna falter, you're gonna scrape your knee and your elbow. Understand, like I'll use my hair for example. A lot of brothers that want to grow dreads, they want to go to a hairstylist or get fake hair put in. You got to go through the ugly phase. You got to go through the little short, little turtlings on your head. You got to go through that. It teaches you growth. It teaches you something and instills traits inside
Y'all
of you.
can't hear me, huh?
Yeah, we good. You good?
Okay.
But yeah, you got to do, because once you get to that point with like Nollywood's on Netflix. They have not only movies, they have full out shows.
Yep,
that,
series.
Yeah, exactly, series that you can go, and these series rival, if not surpass, certain American counterparts.
Right.
As far as
so
quality,
they're learning. Yeah, they're learning how to be competitive, and that's the thing, to be competitive in the market.
Getting back for you.
Sure.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and chime in because I actually start to see a lot of movies that teachers talking about, and I was one of those when I first watched it. I was like, "Yo, what is this?" But then I had to catch myself when I watching other international movies. I was like, "Yo, this is great," but I'm like, "Dang, I haven't given the Nigerian movies a chance," and I was like, "You know what? Let me go in here and watch it." I forgot what one movie I was watching. It was I think it's based on a secret agent. She's a secret agent, a black chick. I forgot her freaking name. I forgot the show.
Dola is in South Africa. Yeah, that was bad. Oh my gosh, she was the black superhero goddess.
And she was just kicking ass all through that. I'm actually still on the second episode because I've been watching other stuff too as well. But other than that, I didn't even know that the Nollywood is third. Did not know that. I mean,
they go
the Indians
Hollywood,
did it with
Bollywood, and Nollywood. And the only reason, to be honest with you, the only reason Bollywood really took off was they started their focus on the musical aspect of it. Now, they have a very vibrant culture, and they express that in musicals and anything that they could tie in with dancing and showing off their culture and the vibrant nature of their culture. They chose those type of films and those type of genres of film to show their culture. And Nollywood took a more action approach to show like, hey, we got some beautiful scenery, but we got some badasses over here too.
Right. So Mr. O, after hearing all this, you've been over there kind of quiet, like with a big grin on your face. This is what you envision.
He's just taking it in.
Yeah.
It's just feeding his power ring. That's all. We just over here feeding his power ring.
I'm listening. You know, you talk about Nigerian films, Nollywood. It's a very wide spectrum. I'm very impressed that one thing is the film that Nollywood produces, then different youths from different tribes also produce films in their own language, and they are all on YouTube. I see some very high quality, not cinematographically, but in the context, you know, of boys of youth from my tribe, and I shake my head. I will get some of the links for you to see. You know, very creative, very creative. And I've been told that all over the Caribbean, they watch Nigerian movies. Nigerian movies get billions of dollars per annum in revenue. The only thing that there are some I don't like because when they begin to demonize our ancestral faith, that is the part I don't like in it. But
Yeah, that's
those films that are of tribes, that not really Nollywood, but those people, even in the north, they are very beautiful films and very educating. Very educating.
yeah. The one thing I had two things. One, I had an opportunity to talk with the Minister of Education, Mr. Duke and Kim, back in 2014.
Something going on.
And
Yeah, so
what I was able to
Oh no,
express
it
to
was a little
him,
something, a glitch in the sound was
African
going on, but it
American
stopped.
white film, we had the opportunity to see culture and recognize and identify cultural traits in us that we don't know where they came from or how they're attributed to. So we're able to see a lot of things about the burial
I'm
rights,
finna get ready to. I'm
um,
finna get ready to sign off.
a lot of
I'm
things
finna
that
get ready to sign off. I'm sorry.
we find in the films. And then two, in 2018, I sat on the commission with the African Union and we have a treaty that we presented to the member states on terms of quality of producing films. Because Nigeria and other countries have produced films of a lower grade, they wanted to push for excellence. So that the films would have to pass a certain test before it can be distributed so wide. Some people were against that, some people were for that because they felt that that was censorship. But the main thrust was to improve the quality, that when Africa steps out on the world, it's stepping out first class.
and we
Speaking
can be
of,
specific though when we speak about Nollywood. We're not talking about Nigeria. We're talking about all African cinema. Because when you speak of Nollywood, they have
Yeah,
South
yes,
Africa,
it's the
they have
same.
Ghana. You know, when we're
Yes,
speaking of, we're
the
talking about
different
everybody.
tribes.
Right.
Yes, yeah, that's very good. The cinema industry in Africa is big, it's wide. It goes from all the countries in the sub-Saharan Africa. Yeah, you know, and many are even produced in local languages. You have some musical films, some other beautiful things. You know, with pride on nature. I like, but they still need some quality. You know, cinematographically. You
Well, we're
know,
getting there.
we need
We are definitely
because
getting there. We're at that point now. We're definitely getting there. I agree with you. That's always been the case. But as we have this conversation now in 2020,
yes,
I can safely say that Nollywood has earned its right as the third largest. The quality is there. It's not there on a general mainstream level yet, but it's getting there. It's definitely better than it was 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, of
But
course,
let's keep it real. If you ain't no African, or you weren't getting your hair done by no African, you ain't know nothing about no Nollywood movies.
nope.
Yes, you know, in Argentina, the still Nollywood movie. We had the former president of Nigeria, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. He pumped billions of dollars into the film studio, you know, so that when you have anything, you go there and you produce. That's what he did, you know. So that lifted up the Nigerian film industry. He pumped money, billions of dollars into it.
And this coming year, there's a gentleman by the name of Johnny Mateba. He just announced that he has gotten an agreement with Tyler Perry Studios, and he's going to produce 21 films over the next 2 years. in and he's from South Africa,
Oh wow.
and he was the president of the African Cinema Commission.
Speaking of movies, our Mike, even though we're coming close to the end and all that stuff, tell us what is your latest movies and where can we find it?
Okay, I have 3 movies that haven't been released yet. So I can't actually give any release dates on those movies. But I can tell you I do have 3 movies on the way, and they're looking to do real good. They got me labeled in Texas right now as the down south Denzel Washington. That's
Wrong with it.
There you go.
Wrong
There
with
you
it.
go.
And all I can say is that we working, man. I'm finna shoot my first movie that I wrote. It's gonna be shot. I'm gonna shoot some in Texas and some in Atlanta. You know.
All right. So where can we find your movies that you already have done? Where
Okay,
can we go?
you can go to Amazon.com if you actually want to buy my first 3 movies are at Amazon.com. You have to one of the movies is Mike Jones' American Dream. That's Warner Brothers. Survival of the Illest. That's
You was in
Lionsgate.
that?
Huh?
Oh,
You was in that? Yeah, I've seen that one.
Survival
I
of
have
the
to go-
Illest. It got Scarface, E40 them in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and watch that one.
What'd you say?
I said you was. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that one. I seen that one.
Yeah. So the movie got 2 names. The movie got 2 names. Before Lionsgate bought it, you can go get the movie on YouTube right now, and it's called The Dirty Third Part 2 on YouTube.
you said dirty. Say again, dirty.
The Dirty Third.
The 33rd
Mm-hmm.
part 2.
Mm-hmm.
The 33rd part 2.
Yep,
On
the
YouTube.
Dirty Third. Yep, on YouTube.
Mm.
You got
So any other
Ronaldo Ray
movies?
in there. The late great Ronaldo Ray here in there. Mm-hmm.
That's legendary right there.
No.
Anybody don't know him? Y'all need to look it up. Look him up.
Yeah, that's a type of reverence you gotta say it right, Mr. Ronaldo Ray.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So any other movies we can catch you on YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube, and you can get G Code, Tales of King City. It's on YouTube. That's shot by director Rico King. He was just in Africa when you guys was just talking about Africa. He bought some land in Africa, and he got a city he's building in Africa, and it's called King City. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Right.
and so he stayed in Canada. He was stuck in Africa for a while because they kept canceling his flights. And his whole family was out there. His wife, his daughter, and his son.
Out there in Africa.
That's where they were at. They back in Canada now. They're in Canada now.
Africa said, you got all this good time. We're gonna try and keep you here. You gonna stay here. We're gonna come up with anything. All the
How long can we keep you here?
Man, they kept canceling his flights, but he finally made it back to Canada, man.
It was like, bro, you know you won't stay. You know
I know, right?
It's cold. It's cold. It's part of America. They got that corona. We good over here, baby. Let's chill.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know that corona, man. We ain't taking no chances. We ain't trying to let nobody out right now. Cause we don't want to take the risk of it coming back on our plane. So, you know, let's chill here for 2 more weeks. Just 2 more weeks. Just give me 2 more weeks, baby.
That's messed up.
Well, you know, 2 weeks for us is a month, right? You know how black folk is. 2 weeks is really a month. I'll just be here for 2 weeks. Just give me 2 weeks on your couch. That's all I need.
Crazy. 2 weeks. Be there 2 years. Ask for 2 weeks and end up 2 years over there. Man. That's crazy. But yeah, I'm in Canada now. The Code is actually a series. So I'm finna actually be in 3 different series. I'm in the G Code series already. They got a series here in Atlanta called what is called the Pressure. The Pressure. And y'all can go in there and pull it up.
We can't hear
Yeah,
you.
brother.
We
Oh,
can't
can
hear
y'all
you.
hear me now?
Yeah,
Something,
pressure.
something happened on this end. Oh, Seth, I can't hear
Okay.
nobody.
Can y'all
I
hear
hear
me?
him. It's called, yeah, I heard it's called The Pressure.
Yeah, The Pressure. And you can go on YouTube and y'all pull up The Pressure. They got Dash Dillinger in there. They got a few cats in there
Can
that's gonna
anybody hear me?
surprise you. We can hear you.
Y'all can hear me, but I can't hear
Yeah.
y'all. Oh,
Oh
snap.
wow. Yeah, and
Now,
so right now they you know, they had to slow it down because of COVID, and so they hadn't been filming anything. But I'm actually finna be in the last of the last part of the one that's finna end, and then they're gonna come out with the other one, and then I'm probably gonna end up being in all of them after that. But
okay.
so that'll be 3 series. Of the series I'm going to Houston. We're gonna shoot some scenes while I'm down there next week. So man, I'm excited right now, man, because it's my first time being able to shoot something that I wrote myself. You know,
That's
and
I'm definitely
awesome.
happy.
That's awesome.
I'm definitely happy
That's
for you, man. I
great.
want everybody to be mindful of the hustle in this man's heart, the drive behind him, but also the lapse of thought at times when you're doing a lot of stuff and the hustle is strong and you riding that wave, stuff tend to blend together.
Mm-hmm.
So
It works itself
side
out.
note, use a pencil and never be scared to write some stuff down, especially when you out here on your Iron Mike stuff doing 3 series and 3 movies and multiple. You out here really hustling, write it down. Don't be
Shoot.
scared.
mm-hmm.
And while we going,
And
this is what I got
even if you
right
don't,
here.
exactly. And
Yeah.
even if you don't be
Oh
scared to
man,
be like,
they're not far.
hold
They
on, let me think
in my
about
book bag, but they're not far from me.
it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
So, all
part
right,
of
Mike.
Still got a
So
computer over here if I
look
want
at
to just
that.
go duck off and get away from everybody.
So all right, Mike. So where can people follow you on Facebook? Where can they go?
Facebook is just straight up Iron Mike. No, I think we changed it. My PR sheet, we changed it. So on my Facebook and my Instagram is OG Iron Mike.
Okay. OG
SUC.
on Mike.
OG Iron Mike, like Iron Mike Tyson. SUC.
SUC.
All right. Now first of all, Mike, thank you for tuning in on the show because we are at the time where we do the final thought, which we want you to be a part of. So final thought is
Okay.
basically the opening statements of like if it pertains to what you guys say, if it pertains to the show, or it can either pertain to something entirely different. So you're gonna be a part of that, and you're gonna be first at bat. But before we get there, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in, and also our Mike. When you get that, if you ever get a taste of the movies, you should check out realcheddarboy.com. You got some real good popcorn. I wish I could get a popcorn that my girlfriend, she's still eating on it right now, and I
Can you
left
send me
mine.
a link?
Oh, it's scrolling down the bottom.
Scrolling at the bottom.
Scrolling at the bottom. realcheddarboypopcorn.com. It's the official snack of the panel. And I'm not only just telling this to Iron Mike, I'm telling each and every one of y'all. If y'all, they got flavors of caramel. They even got the sweet and spicy. They got white cheddar. They even got what's the birthday?
Do they ship their product?
Yes.
Yes, they do. They do.
Okay.
They actually local here, but they do ship.
Okay.
Yes, my girlfriend just put in an order for them today.
I did 5 bags.
Yeah, I gotta get my order.
After the show. So,
Yeah,
ladies and
cool.
gentlemen, tell your friends about it.
I'm gonna try that out.
Yeah, black owned. Tell your friends about it. Tell everybody about it. This is some good popcorn. I saw them at their pop-up shop, and they just sold out. Guy didn't even, him and his wife and his mom didn't even set up yet, and people was already there. Like, hey, I heard y'all had the birthday cake. Oh snap, you got that flavor? Didn't even set up, and he just selling them like hotcakes. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, realcheddarboypopcorn.com.
Realcheddarboypopcorn.com. Okay, that's good.
Real Cheddar Boy.
Just like it's spelled. Cheddar.
Okay.
Cheddar.
Cheddarboypopcorn.com. But let's go ahead into the final thoughts. And to our guest, Iron Mike, you, my friend, got the floor.
Man, it was a great thing, man. I enjoyed the time with you brothers and sisters, and I'm looking forward. Y'all let me know when y'all, if this every Monday, man, I want to be a part of it.
Oh, yeah. My final thought
It's just love yourself, man. I enjoyed this conversation. I enjoy Iron Mike. I enjoy seeing and feeling that type of energy that I try to put off. And to see it in another brother is very empowering. So I guess my real final thought is, hustle. Don't be scared to get out here. You don't know who else is out here hustling, and you don't know who else can help you with your hustle or link up with you and help you with a better hustle. That's my final thought.
My final thought will be about the video that you showed in the beginning of pedophiles. If you look at the two white women, they are a typical frigid, cold. There's a problem of sex in the Caucasian world. They have low sexual potency and they have low satisfaction. In Denmark, they tie dogs in brothel for men to pay to have sex with them till today. That tells you the kind of women they have. So out of frustration, they are now promoting this evil act. Even Theresa May, who is a daughter of an Anglican priest, said that there is no proof that a baby suffers when being raped. That tells you how frustrated they are. And one of the reasons possibly why they are not happy with us, because the black race is the hottest of all and we enjoy it. We must reject their evil campaign. We reject pedophile. It is evil. It is no orientation. It is evil. It is destruction of innocent children and their lives. That is my thought.
Mr. O, I couldn't agree with you more on that. And so my final thought is this. Iron Mike, thank you for coming on the show. We encourage more people that got that hustle, that got that drive to come join the show. Speaking of shows, I know a lot of y'all probably wondering about not Netflix, but about the Wet Network. There has been some updates that have been happening. Great updates. And I'm already going to tell you, it's going to come up sooner than you think. We're not going to tell you, but I'm going to tell you it's going to come up sooner than you think. And then I'm going to make this proposal to Iron Mike. And once everybody had, once Teach is done doing her final thought, I want to extend my hand out to Iron Mike for you to have all these moves, all these series that you're doing. We want to offer your series to be a part of the Wet Network. We want your content exclusively a part of the network. Would you allow that to happen? Will you allow us, for us starting the platform for you to put your content, to put your face, to put your name, to put your crew on the Wet Network? And that's my final thought. Teach, take it away.
Wow, this is awesome. A show like this gives me life and reminds me of the hustle and reminds me that when we come together, we create a synergy that makes us all think and think in different ways and go deeper into ourselves and pull out the different skills that we have. And I appreciate Iron Mike and his hustle because about last year this time, I was just sharing one of my manuscripts with a friend, and that friend turned out to be a film producer and screenwriter. And he's like, wow, let me turn this into a screenplay. And I'm like, okay. I didn't hesitate. And that goes back to my opening statement of being ready to seize the opportunity and that we can pull the skills from the pool of people that we know and get connected to the people where one may produce the film, the other writes the screenplay to it, and the cinematographer actually does the cinematography. And then you have the producers that go out and push and distribute. So we have a network, and I can see myself in the center of pulling all of these various people together with the various skills to make it happen for everyone. So from the beginning, I said, be ready. And we are in that state of readiness. So let us do it. Let us continue with the synergy and the energy of vibing with one another, allowing our gifts and talents to come forth and speak for who and what we are. And finally, I can't not speak on your opening statement in the issue of pedophilia. We as humans have to watch over the babes that cannot speak for themselves. We have to be their guardians. We have to agitate and protect them because there are people, misguided people, that feel that they have a validity to destroy other people's lives. They use kind language to say, oh, as a pedophile, we just want to have love, but because we're so lonely, we we can't express ourselves because people will hate us. They make it seem as if they're the victim. They are the predator. And we have to watch over the little children and the adolescents and keep them away from these misguided people. It is our duty, if we claim that children are our future, we cannot allow our children to be in the hands of this misguided people that would twist and annihilate them, that they could never function as decent adults in our society. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I say good night to you all.
So I made that offer. Iron Mike.
Oh yeah, I'm rocking.
Yes, sir.
And also, I would love to see a collabo between you and Beast Johnson. You got the North Kakalaki, and then you got ATL. every time I think about the ATL, I think about Coca-Cola, and then when I think about North Kakalaki, I always think about barbecue chicken. So, bam, Coca-Cola barbecue chicken right there. That's a good combination right there
Where
for
you
me.
at, Beach?
Hey, I'm in Greensboro, North Carolina. Hey, that sounds like the title of a good mixtape collab. I'm
Mhm.
with it if you with it.
Okay, we me and my wife vacation in the Smoky Mountains up there.
Okay. Yeah, that's a little drive, but they there for. It's 4 hours from Greensboro to Atlanta.
Yeah, hey man, I ain't gonna even lie, man. I'm just be honest. You know, I ain't racist or nothing at all. I mean, to the point where some of my best partners is white dudes right now. You know what I'm saying? But that place where I was at, it just irked me a little bit because every time I looked around, it was Confederacy this, Confederacy that, and I'm like, it was just me and my wife. We didn't have no weapon on us or nothing, you know, because I really don't ride like that. I feel like the weapon of God with me everywhere I go. You know what I'm saying? Keep me protected. You know what I'm saying? But man, they was looking at it was some people looking at us like they never seen black people ever in their life.
Sound like another topic for another day. But yeah, real quick, Beach Johnson, our bike. I wouldn't mind talking to y'all tomorrow around. I message y'all about it tomorrow. We could all come together and talk about the Wet Network.
No problem.
That's it.
All right, cool. But on that, ladies and gentlemen, we gotta let y'all go. I mean, I've been struggling over here, and I think I say this: if my stuff is messing up on our end, everybody's stuff's messed up on the end, they don't want to hear us. We talking too much true. We blame Mr. O on that one. Talking too much true. We blame that on Teach today. So we gonna blame this on Teach. We gonna stop blaming Mr. O. We gonna blame it on Teach. We talking some real shit. That's why they keep messing up with our stuff. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all for tuning in for another edition of Fade to Black. First of all, thank our sponsor once again, Real Cheddar Boy Popcorn.com. Once again, Real Cheddar Boy Popcorn.com. Order that popcorn. It's a bomb beef popcorn, I'm telling you. You just sent me the logo, which I will be doing some changes with it as well. And also, once again, Iron Mike, you are welcome on the show. We can put you in the schedule, so you don't have no worries. When you want to come in, we gonna let you in. But on that, for Anita Joe, aka Teach, for Mr. O, aka Mr. Hope, Beast Johnson, and our guest, Iron Mike. Thank y'all for tuning in to Fade to Black, and also me, your host, Don Alamonte Morris, aka Alamonte31. Y'all have a great one. Thank y'all for tuning in once again. Catch y'all later. It's been real.
Hey,
Goodbye.
All right.